Let it rip.
What up, YouTube? It's A&D Anime Reactions here. I'm Daquan.
And I'm Alexander.
And today we're watching Windbreaker Season 2, Episode 2. Last time we watched Season 2, Episode 1, we had a chance to see the breakout of the brawl between the Bofurine group and the Keel group. And obviously Sakura was leading that group as a captain, going in and try to save one of his buddies. And they started off really good. They started kicking butt. And then when they got some higher ranking Keel members come in and start fighting off the top 5 members of Sakura's group, the mood shifted quite a bit. And luckily, just in time, though, we had some upperclassmen. I don't remember the lollipop kid name, but that's basically Sakura's superior. Came in, was able to shift the mood, beat some sense into him, and also teach him what a real leader, what a real captain is. And we got this whole new shift in aura and ready to see how this Keel all thug out battle royale is going to kind of end, which we know is going to end up with some butt kicking.
I really like this new mid-level guy because he isn't obviously as high ranking as the God of War that we saw from the previous one, but it's better because we now have someone that's closer to his level that can sort of like, and ideally he'll give him more relatable lessons because versus someone who has it all figured out and is at the very top. I think having someone who is his direct superior and kind of also helps mitigate some of the damage, because if at the end of this the lollipop says it's all fine, I said what I needed to be said, obviously the war guy is going to be saying sure. Like that's how a delegation works. That's how management works. So it's like, and if you resolve it on the lowest level possible, it's obviously best for the system. Because no, they don't need to hear about it if it's already been dealt with. And I think that he knows Sakura well enough that just punching him in the face and just telling him stop being an idiot, care about your people. Because he isn't a bastard. He just has a short temper for things, and
he's also used to doing things on his own. He thinks that being a leader, because remember, all throughout season 1, he says, "I want to be at the top," but he didn't know what that took until after he saw what the top really meant. Where the top person was strong, but people also loved him. And so now he's learning. Well, okay, so I can't just be at the top because I'm strong and I'm a lone wolf, but I have to have the buy-in and support of everyone around me, which requires me, which Lollipop is teaching Sakura, is that requires the way you get buy-in from your people is by protecting them and supporting them, and not focusing on your ego.
No, I'm more meant Lollipop was the kind of person who just thinks that if he can, he knows that Sakura isn't necessarily that bad of a person. He knows he's the cap. He's doing his best, but so I think he understands that if he beats him up, he gets it for this course. He did all that, and then he'll probably be okay. I don't need to escalate this any further. At least that's what I'm assuming what will happen.
Well, I think it shows why he's the second-year leader on top of that, because he has experience. He's been put into a leadership position because he has leadership skills. And so part of leadership skills is, can you develop new leaders? And so he's doing that with Sakura. So I don't think that's abnormal to think about.
It's not normal. I'm just saying I like it because it means this has the potential to being a good thing, but also not a good huge blow-up thing. Okay.
I didn't take it as that at all. I thought it was just like he was speaking Sakura's language.
I know, it wasn't a bad. I'm just saying I'm liking it as how it's being developed. Okay.
But yeah, so I think it built up a lot. We think it's a very classic shonen piece. It's nice to see when there's a problem, you punch it till it goes away. But you still have some more wholesome.
It's boys being boys in the best possible way possible.
Yes, there we go. But with that, we will hop onto the screen, which you guys see here, and let's get to watching.
Woo! Punch.
Knee.
Guess I get the honor of fighting Kaji. Well, I couldn't be happier that you could have a famous guy like you. Besides, I could almost see us being friends. Or not? You don't think so? I saw what you did to that guy. You punched him to get him to listen to you. Ask me. That's how it should be done. If we agree on that, we get along. The best way to gain absolute authority over someone else is through fear.
That's not what was happening.
we literally had this conversation in the last episode. Like,
yes.
Fear only works as long as the biggest man in the room.
Yep.
And he just happened to always been the biggest man in the room, but no longer.
Yep, no longer.
Think of challenging me. That's the best kind of feeling, you know? You felt it before. Problem is, we're so much alike I can't stand it. It's just a nice guy act. Everything you're doing out there, it's just plain violent. You call yourselves Wolverine. Protecting the city, protecting the people. Honestly, it's disgusting. You know you belong on this side. Let's say.
I think the weirder aspect of this is that those type of people really do exist. Where people are mad that people just want to make people do good and live well.
Yeah.
Like, I've literally had people in my past tell me they're mad at me and hated me just because I was happy. I'm like, what does my happiness have to do with you being pissed? I'm like, because you're unhappy and you're mad that I'm happy, and I'm like,
it's insecurity. They feel powerless, and they are aggravated that someone else has happiness, and rather than working on themselves, they want to annoy that someone else has it, because they believe the world is a zero-sum game, and if you're happy, they can't be happy, even though there's no logic for that situation, because the vast majority of the time, there is still enough resources for everyone to be happy.
that's true. I think the difference is that's some type of people, that's some subsect of the people. That's not all of them. I think it's also just the fact that, like, some people just like chaos, and then, or if I think it's a subset of people who just like chaos and destruction. The reason why I know that's the case is I've seen documentaries of, like, crazy people who enjoy torturing people, and it's like, I'm the power of dictators in other countries. I think there's another subset of people where they're, like you said, they're going through stuff, they're miserable, but it's not necessarily they think it's a zero-sum game, but misery likes company, so they want to tear down as many people to feel like they feel, versus just focusing more so on trying to figure out how can I make their situation better. But I'm thinking that it's just like that thought process of why you're just acting so great, where the person's not acting great, where it's just like, I'm taking actions to fulfill my ideals. And the difference is that I'm willing to make actions to fulfill my ideals or make myself happy in a sense, where you're just like, you're satisfied with being where you are. And I'm like, it's crazy how many people, like the guy with the bat, are in the world. How is more of those people, and most of them don't say anything, but they harbor those feelings on the inside.
He's fake Batman.
Aluminum Man. Aluminium.
Aluminum Batman, which sounds like an evolution of Batman.
Yes.
I win. You gotta join Keith. Let's say. If I win, you gotta join Keto. Well, have shut up.
Crush.
Let you keep talking, but then you got all cocky. You think you know how I feel? Bastards like you have no right to say anything about bullying.
Bourine. The opening's probably very badass.
Probably. The first one was pretty cool. See them all flick the jackets back in the end.
Hey, what the hell made you think you're allowed to chicken out of this fight? It's just one guy! Jump him already! Move it!
Interesting.
Jump them already.
Even the high-ranked fighters can't fight alone.
Nope. Woo! Whiplash. Strangely enough, this reminds me of like the old school Sega Genesis game called Street Fighters, where you beat people up and they fall on the ground, and they try to get back up and they fall back down. I don't know why that gave me that little memory in my back of my mind.
What Sakura did is he entered the zone.
Yes.
Backflash time. Or Black Flash.
Ooh.
That's so satisfying.
Don't waste my time. Next! With all that energy you had when we started! I don't care if you want to play it cool. You're going easy on me! Oh, that? I just had to atone a little. My virtue is being there to help out my friends, but look at me. Plus, our upperclassmen had to come wipe our asses for us. All that means that you guys are weak. That's why you better wipe that smirk off your face! Don't you look mad. It's because you know you're weak. Pisses you off, right? Come on. It's not like I'm wrong. Besides, I'm starting to get pretty bored. Your whole tough thing isn't fun anymore. So let's end this! Too bad. Whoa! Nice! Almost. That was the closest one yet. Too bad. Try again! Smiling's another virtue of mine. I am an entertainer after all.
Oh!
Rock beats stick.
Yeah.
Get up. We still got one more round left, moron!
Crap.
Ooh. I'm surprised people can stay conscious. The amount of concussions they should have, the amount of force trauma that happens to the head is wild.
Yeah.
Because these people are hitting people with superhuman strength. They're flying across the room. They're being beat with sticks, with poles.
Yeah.
I'm like, dog, they fighting dirty.
It feels like an acceptable break of reality, though. Like, it's not.
Yes.
It's not superhuman. Okay, it is superhuman, but it's to just enough to the degree where you still realize, okay, this could realistically happen. Not really, but enough that you're not questioning it.
Like, wait, is this a superpower, Sheldon? No.
Which is a pretty fun Dollywood show. Go back out to here.
You all scurry around so goddamn much. Little runts so fast. That's what pisses me off. Damn it, you. That's more like it. I guess we both have a bit more left in the tank after all.
I'm kind of sad we haven't seen too much of the eye patch since Blondie ran off.
I'm feeling just peachy. Huh? What the hell are you? Hey, wait!
Lights out.
Nice, man. You're still a hit like a proper heel. That said, the way you Q guys do things, that's nothing to joke about. Why the hell would I wait, dumbass?
Woo.
Come on now. What are you gonna do about this ballerina?
Who, me? You're the strong one. I think that's something.
Well, you're not wrong. It only takes one look at us. See, I got you beat.
Okay.
Don't try to pretend you aren't embarrassed about that. If I was born as pathetic and wimpy as you, I'd probably just kill myself.
Really? I kind of like the idea of it personally.
I can tell you're trying to sound like you don't care. The weak are always going to end up obeying the ones who are stronger than them. Somebody as weak as you has got no reason to live. Oh no, did I break your arm?
Yes. The girls don't like you. Girls' perspective, you're pretty exhausting. And as a fellow human being, I'm embarrassed.
Girls don't like me. But kind of stupid.
Oh, did I ruffle your feathers? I'm just being honest. If I was a girl, I'd never want to be with a guy like you. Based on your reaction, I thought so. Actually, if you're obeying the orders of that guy upstairs, doesn't that mean that you're the weak one here?
You think I'm a moron? I'm just helping him out a little. He recognizes the value of brute strength.
Let me guess. You only make that exception because you're part of this team, right? So ignorant, like a frog living in a well. Nah, that's an insult to frogs. It's more like you're small-minded. Split-end.
Don't give me that crap! The only embarrassment here is you!
Oh, Lo, give me that throat.
What was that?
Nah, I do want to know what he just did to him.
Just because you were born with something doesn't mean bragging about it will get you anywhere.
Ooh.
That might help you with the ladies. I don't like delivering a last blow on someone who can't move. But if I leave you conscious, you're gonna cause problems for the rest of us.
He's terrified.
The hell are you looking at, newbie? Keep your eyes on the prize! Thank you so much. These second-year guys sure know their stuff. All we needed was 2 of them. And they totally turned the tide. All right. You're a real lifesaver, Sakura. We've gotten pretty beat up. What's wrong?
Yep.
Sakura. How's it going, buddy? Finished taking out the trash?
This side too. Suki's just about finished with his area over there.
There's still a few of them left. Don't let your guard down. So we go.
Yeah, all your backs are turned towards against the fight.
Yell if you need help. I'll be there this time. Let's go.
You can see that proud smile in him. Like, he's acting like a leader.
Yep.
I just love what, like we said in the previous episode, we're seeing actual character growth. Like, he is slowly getting to become a better person.
Yep.
It's weird no, let me say. It's a very basic storytelling device, but I'm still always happy whenever I see it. Because I feel like it isn't always done.
Unfortunately, yes.
So it's like gushing over something that should be obvious, but I guess the fact that I can gush over it means it isn't as...
It's not as common as it should be. Just like how people always say, common sense isn't so common. Right?
Yeah.
So just like good storytelling motifs aren't always common.
Let's go.
Stick. Punch in the face.
What the hell are you?
Huh.
It's an eye patch.
Yeah. He's mad.
Eye patch has no bruises.
Give me a break. There's something wrong with you. Don't look at me like that. You bastard. I'm gonna crush that eye.
You ran into the foot on your own. That's your fault.
What is it, Sakura?
Just leave him be. He's completely out.
Now that's a surprise. It's odd you're so calm right now. Don't you get irritated after being treated like this?
Of course. I can't help it. I'm really pissed off. At myself. I'm the one who ran my mouth and it got us here. Being mad about it doesn't change that. All that's left is for me to do what I can. So...
Aw.
I'll either take responsibility, changes the tides. That's all it really shows.
He's obviously putting on an act right now because he's clearly pissed, but it's just nice to see that it's.
I think a leader taking responsibility can really change the mood
I know, but I mean,
and put things in perspective.
I get that, but also your anger just doesn't drop that fast. This
No.
itself is it's a phase, but it's still nice to see. And like, honestly, as in, he doesn't get mad at Sakura. Like, at a lesser show, he would probably have attacked him out of frustration. No, it's like there's just so many positive male relationships here. It's crazy. Not crazy. It's really
It's nice to see because you don't really see them, even in anime.
Yeah.
You don't see the camaraderie without the overly emotional gushing, showing their hearts to have the growth. They're doing it in a very, again, rambunctious,
They're doing it in a both macho but genuine manner.
Yes.
Like, because even in this case, this was a realistic, respectable, soft moment where he was like, I need to speak from the heart now, and he did so. And sometimes you need to punch a bastard, and that also works.
Yes.
Sakura is showing he can receive one, do the other, and also switch it around as needed. So it's like, it shows more emotional, like
Intelligence.
that, and also like just character roundedness as well. Also, just he is on one note.
He's emotionally maturing.
Yeah.
And I think for us as guys, that's a lot harder. I don't think I really emotionally matured until I was like in my mid-20s. Because like I was always like wise beyond my years. I had a lot of like wisdom, because people always say that an intelligent person learns from their own mistakes, a wise person learns from the mistakes of others. And I was able to learn from the mistake of others, but that still didn't allow me to feel certain things and know how to deal with those and overcome those. Like an idea of like bouncing back from deep despair, genuinely experiencing like extreme rage and not lashing out with it. And that took me going through something difficult like training in medical school for me to kind of make those emotions available for me to learn to deal with them.
Yeah. All right, dude.
You really are hopeless, Sakura. But what you're saying is the plain truth. We shouldn't waste time on just one guy. I'll go take care of this end. Let's get this over with. Honestly, I am no match for you.
Aw.
Potential for growth. That's what makes a leader. Bat time. Modern day swordsman.
Yeah.
These guys can legit be gymnastics.
Yeah.
Gymnasts.
Ooh, that's clever.
Yes.
That's one freaky face you're making. Man, you really do belong on our side. You look like you're just itching to go berserk. Join Team Natori. I'm way more fun than your dorky friends. Being a hero doesn't suit you. I can see the beast inside. You nailed me. You're right. I'm not a hero in the slightest.
Ooh.
Growing up, every time I lost it, my mind would go blank. When I came to, I'd be...
I mean, when you got around, you find out.
Yes, that has been like the motto for so many shows over the past 2 years. F around and find out.
Like if you get punched, try to be punched back twice as hard.
I think people just need to understand that there's consequences. Sure, you can choose to take whatever actions you want to take, say whatever you want to say, but it doesn't free you from the consequences and make you say, oh, I didn't expect you to punch back. I'm like, why not? Oh, I didn't expect you to say anything back. Why not? I didn't expect you to respond that violently. Why not?
Freedom of choice, not a freedom of consequences.
Yes.
surrounded by bodies and blood. That's the best! Nothing beats the high that violence can bring. Afterwards, I would feel disgusted with myself.
And also, I've been hearing a lot, because I've been watching a lot of reactors too, who said the same thing you said. Violence is never the question. It's like violence is normally the statement. He says violence is never the answer. It's the question.
Yeah.
The answer is normally yes.
Yes.
I was like, oh yeah, Alexander used to say that sometimes. I'm like, in this case, this definitely applies. Violence is always a question. The answer is yes.
Yep.
I would feel disgusted with myself. I couldn't turn it off.
Rawr, rawr,
I'd be sick.
rawr.
Eventually, someone taught me to control it. It's still there, but at least I feel human. Oh, it's there. You can never win against your true nature. You created this team, right?
And I think that's one of the biggest lies people are told.
Yeah. You can always control your nature.
I think humans can always control their nature. I think that's what makes humans different than every other creature on the planet. People always say that a leopard can never change its spots, a tiger can never change their stripes, and they use that to kind of describe the fact that like people can never change. And I'm like, what do you mean? We grow and evolve and change all the time, and that's what makes us human. That's one of our greatest superpowers, the fact that the people that we were yesterday are not necessarily the people we have to be today or tomorrow.
Yeah.
That ability to change, to evolve, to take in new information, and change with those, I think is one of the magical parts of being human. So that's why I always tell people, people's like, what, that person used to do blah, 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 blah. I'm like, yeah, but that person's not doing that now. It's like, but we hate, I'm like, no, you hate that person. I'm like, that person never did anything wrong to me. That person never said anything that's sideways to me right now. So like, why should I be mad at this person if they never did anything to me? And I don't see them doing anything to anyone else at this time either. It seems like they've truly changed. Does that justify you holding your grudge? Sure. I'm like, if you feel that was justified for you and you want to hold on to that burden, go ahead. But I judge the people by the actions they are today and proof of concept that they've changed, not necessarily just taking them at their word. So I think that's one of the things that I think this is showing well, where it shows like how the majority of people believe that you can't change who you are. And then Lollipop showing on the side that like, yeah, you can have a distinct nature, but there's some things that even as humans where even though it may be a desire that we have, it may not be healthy for us to always express it. So some things we do have to repress. For example, I'm about to start trying to lose weight again after the second half of June.
What?
Because I'm gonna start trying to like get back in shape.
Oh, nice.
After the second half of June. And that's because even though I want to eat an entire cake, it doesn't mean that I should. I may have those impulses and those desires, but I now know that I need to suppress those if I want to live a long time, be healthy, be good at my job, be good for my family, be good for my community. That requires me to take care of myself.
Pizza tonight.
Yes, pizza tonight, but let's come in the future.
I know.
Because I understand that like doesn't mean I have to deprive myself forever. No, but for a period of time when I really want to dial in and go hard, which I decide that times will be after my family visits. Enjoy, because I think there's sometimes where you should naturally enjoy things. I think there's a time and place for everything. And I think that some people think about denial or repression as something as negative, but for many things in life, I think denial and repression is necessary. Your your desire may be, I want to kill this person, but that might not be justified. And it might not be even legally expedient for you. You might go, like, if you know you kill this person, you might spend 5 to 20 years in jail, even if it's for self-defense. I'm like, is it worth it for you?
Maybe.
For some cases, it will be. In other cases, it won't be. I'm like, just because the person stole your muffin, it's probably not worth killing them over. That person's threatening to burn down your house and kill your family, maybe it's worth it.
Muffin button.
Goku. But that's why I think this right here is like a really interesting point they put in here, but I don't think a lot of people will actually like talk about, because I think that's something that's really important that's usually brushed over, that humans actually have the ability to change. And people don't always usually accept that. Another lollipop.
Power up.
Your ladder doesn't look like mine, but you should still be at the bottom rung. What does that mean? I'm telling you.
Because you spoiled me, I think now I just figured out who the crossdresser in the season is. Because you spoiled me, now I realize the person who you're talking about would be the crossdresser that we're going to meet in the season.
Telling you that you don't have what it takes to sit at the top. You're weak.
That's true.
Don't talk like a human.
We both know you're an animal. You
Disrespectful.
cage. But you're a good puppy, huh?
Disrespectful.
You have been ever since they cut off your balls.
Disrespectful.
I'll find your wild side. Give you a taste of that rage.
That sounds kind of creepy.
Inside will come out to play.
That sounds gross.
Then I'll put it on a leash. And what better chain to use than fear? Are you all part? Show me the heat, Johnny!
Ooh. Ooh.
I'd be way too scared to do something like that.
This is awesome dynamic.
Whew.
Too bad. I thought you would be more vicious. Guess it's hard to bite when they pulled out your fangs.
Ooh.
What have those softies done to you? It was something beautiful, and now you're a weak.
This dude is a psychopath.
What good does it do to take your power away? Those pansies don't know you at all. You say I can't lead. Your leaders ruined you.
Oh, that bat's out of commission.
There they are. Those animal eyes. Now you like it better.
Ooh.
See? I knew it. That face is you perfectly. Welcome back. It's fun, huh? Embrace the rage.
I mean, anger's a tool.
Yes, it is.
As long as you can put it back in the box, it's fine to feel it. There it is.
Restraint.
One more punch, and it would have been 10.
I did that again.
That was quick. What a shame. Looks like he cleaned his clock real good. We're all done too.
But I was able to, I'm glad he was able to pull himself back instead of needing Sakura, which would have been, I was worried he was going to do that, but like, no. It shows that he has also made his strives for himself, so he can do it himself, which is,
He's teaching what he's learned.
yeah,
Restraint.
so it's an important skill that he also has that more than one character can suffer from anger issues and also suffer and have their own moderation skills and pulling things back. It isn't one or other. Both people can do it.
No, I think, like I said, it shows that people change.
Yeah.
They don't always have to be the same. So he showed that he was worse than Sakura before.
Yeah.
And that the reason why he's telling Sakura the things he's telling him is because of the things he's learned and was turned him into a leader.
Yeah.
The leaders have recognized those same things and not only be able to teach those things, but practice them as well.
Yeah.
So I think that was an important aspect where they show this dichotomy between a person saying you never can change, you always will be the person, and he's like, no, you can learn, you can repress some of those impulsive things, but you also use them to your advantage.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I think that, like I said, it's a well tied bow.
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, not only does he need that he's not a hypocrite.
Yeah. That's why I'm glad. So he was able to do it himself.
So yeah, so I wasn't even expecting Sakura to come back. 'Cause I was expecting him that if he's teaching this is something he's overcome himself.
I know.
And I think
But
with those
just-
backstory, it made it kind of more apparent to me, at least.
I know. I just thought that would have been a kind of a circling thing because he did it one of them. He could have done it the other, but I'm glad he didn't. Because we already saw it once this episode.
Yeah. That was the eye patch, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll give him a little something. What something?
That's all it took.
Let me go already. Anzai. War's over, brother.
Surprised he's still alive,
Yeah.
to be honest.
What did I miss? A whole lot of bunching, but hey, we beat him. I see. Good. Sorry. Hey, you hanging in there? What the? You're here. Of course we are. Somebody had to back you babies up. It looks like your man is finally awake. You better talk things out. Nagato. Why did you come here? This was none of your business. I said to stay out of it. It wasn't your battle. So why did you save me?
Don't get it twisted. That loudmouthed son of a bitch pissed me off. We shut down his operation because we wanted to. You were a bonus.
Hey, come on. Sakura.
Tsuchiya. She cried because she felt like she couldn't help you. Hanzai wanted to help you too, and he ended up like this. The least you could do is look the man in the eye. You realize how worried they were? You were the only thing on their minds. So give them a reason.
I'm going to look you straight in the eye.
It's your turn to focus on them.
So please, do the same and look at us.
Oh.
Look at him and explain what's going on.
Be a man. Look him in the eye.
It's just weird how. I should stop saying weird. It's impressive how this show has such good communication skills. They keep talking about that, and they keep doing it effectively. Mm-hmm. It is very nice to see. I will say that. I will phrase that from now on. Drop the weird. It is not weird. It is good writing, and
Yes.
I'm happy I'm seeing it.
It's terrible to you. I hurt you. And they can't be undone. The reason I didn't want you to save me is because I know I'm not worth saving.
At the end of the day, that judgment is the newest to me. Just look at Anzai. He thought saving me was worth the risk. So hate yourself as much as you want. But that doesn't mean the people around you will too. For better or for worse.
That's true. And there's another thing too, that sometimes surroundings can actually change a person's self-worth. Sometimes you just need the positivity from other people, because even if you don't feel it yourself, eventually by hearing it and feeling it from other people, you start feeling the value too. I think it's like people are talking about the group thing. So how people will say, oh, everyone in the world values gold, so that means it's valuable, right? So by having other people value it, makes it more valuable to you. I think it works with people as well. So. And I also think it's kind of ironic too. As many times as these people get punched in the face, they don't cry. Like they'll take those hits like a champ, but when it gets on the inside, the tears gotta flow.
I mean, that's being a man.
Yes.
Never cry for pain, but express your emotions.
Why are you so kind? It makes no sense. Especially.
I know you stopping this because that was almost over, but I think the word choice is also kind of interesting too. He says, "Why are you so kind?" I think the difference is too between. I've always said this before. I don't know if I said this to you before, but there's a difference between being nice and being kind. Where I think that nice means that you're trying to avoid conflict, and often it is not as good as people make it seem. I think nice is a sign of weakness, and the fact that because you're afraid of conflict, you're afraid of confrontation, so you avoid it at all costs. You placate to people and give them what they want. Being kind can be more difficult because it means you'll do things even if they're like not going to be comfortable. It can be harsh, it can be hard, because sometimes people need a tough exterior to make sure that boundaries are set and things are in your best interest. And so I think it's interesting he chose the word being kind versus them being nice, trying to like placate him, but also like they're being truthful to him because we already know that he got his butt kicked, so he got the tough part of it. But now also understanding that he still has value even though you're stupid. We understand that we still care about you even though you made stupid decisions, but hopefully you won't keep making stupid decisions. And so I think that's important, especially for men, because we always talk about like the idea that nice guys finish last. There's no reason to be nice. I'm like, yeah, you don't really want to be nice, but you want to be a kind person. There's a reason to be compassionate. There's a reason to be empathetic. There's a reason to care for the people around you, support them, protect them. But that doesn't mean you have to be nice. It doesn't mean you have to shy away from confrontation or shy away from putting up boundaries. But always have integrity, always have honesty, and then always, like I said, be compassionate as well. Being nice and being compassionate is not synonymous, but being kind and compassionate can be the same thing. Well, a subset of being kind. So yeah, so I think that's very interesting that they chose that word choice. I don't know if they did that in the sub as well, but in English I always like, because I'm being more particular with my words now, I always tell people that, yeah, I'm not interested in being nice. I'm like, I'm not interested in being nice. I'm interested in being kind. I'll tell you the truth. I care about your well-being. And because I care about your well-being, I care about being honest with you, being consistent, having integrity, making sure I'm always telling you what the truth is. So that way there's no line or like fuzziness or gray areas between us. And to me, I think that's very masculine because it makes you sometimes having to be kind of disagreeable. Where even though you know that, most people say, well, why are you telling on me? Why are you telling the truth? That didn't have to be said. Well, sometimes the truth has to be said, and sometimes it's offensive. Sometimes it hurts. Because someone tells you that what you did wasn't a good job. It hurts. It's like, I put all this effort and work. It's not that good. It hurts. But sometimes from that hurt and that constructive criticism, you'll say, well, I don't want to feel that again. I'll work a little bit harder to get a better product. So.
Makes no sense. Especially when you're also so strong.
Conclusion.
Yes, being strong and kind are not antithetical.
Yep.
It's a bonus if you're both strong and kind.
It is very nice.
But yeah, that was a fun episode. It was one where it was action packed, and I think there's a lot of like deep stuff in there too, like things I really, really didn't expect.
But yeah, I'm also surprised that we mentioned this last time, but the kill arc seems to be over. I thought they were going to be the next big bad, but no, they were just.
Yeah, it seemed to be just like a playthrough, but which is good though. We got this leadership growth for Sakura.
Yeah.
And then also just like I think again we're taking this and trying to glean out some actual more interesting conversations from that. I think we had this great conversation in terms of humanity being innately different from other creatures, with the ability to change, free will, I guess is another way of saying it. But the other thing is too, like the idea of being strong and kind versus being nice and then being weak, or being anti controversy or anti confrontation. So I think those are all really good points, because I think that a lot of the younger generation now, there's no healthy discourse or disagreement anymore, and people take that as if you disagree with a person, that person is your enemy. But you can have discourse, you can have disagreements, and those don't have to be confrontation is healthy. I think that's how ideas develop. That's how you get challenged. That's how you grow. That's how you change. Because if you never have your beliefs challenged in any way or shape or form, how do you grow? How do you change? How do you get exposed to things outside of your own wheelhouse and the way you're experiencing the world? Because I never got confronted on a lot of my ideals and my beliefs, I probably wouldn't be as nuanced and as like mature in my thinking than I am now. Because even though I surround myself mostly by people who disagree with me in thought process and way of living, it doesn't bother me, and I guess it doesn't bother most people either, because I understand that my true value lies in the fact that I care about you as a person and your agency first. Now we may disagree, but I'm like, I don't need another person to disagree with me, to agree with me, to understand that at least the core values of integrity, honesty, truth, empathy, and compassion are observed. And it's weird because when I talk to other people, I'm like, I'm pretty sure they won't take this advice, even though it's coming from a good place. But I'm always surprised when I get responses back where people are like, you have weirdly good advice. And I'm just like, I'm surprised that you guys take it so well, especially knowing that you guys generally disagree with me on most things. But when I'm doing things from a more like empathetic lens, people do really receive it quite well. And it always shocks me because I always think that people will disagree. Because sometimes I come off a little bit sterner and more serious for those things, especially when I'm like trying to really like make sure the point hits and make sure it makes the person a little bit better. And I'm always shocked when people say, "Oh, yeah, you give really good advice." I'm like, "Well, it's not from a place where I don't think about it. I've thought about these things often."
Subscribe to their Patreon and get his advice.
Yes. Yeah, so I'm very thoughtful. I care for most people, so I want you to succeed, to be happy, to thrive, and to be your best version of yourself. So, yeah, subscribe to the Patreon if you want to hear some of those random ideas and unsolicited advice. Although I try not to give it as often now. I only see if a person is really struggling and they want that advice, then I'll give it. Most of the time, I'll leave it to myself because sometimes people just want to vent and they just want to be heard, and I think that's valid too.
If they want it, solicited advice.
Yeah, if they want it, it's solicited advice. But yeah, you get the solicited advice, I'm like, then you're going to get it. But a lot of times now, I've really pulled back from unsolicited advice because I feel like more people now are in a space where they just need to be heard. I think some people, because there's so much noise in the world now, just think about how much like content we have access to now. Back then, I only had access to the anime that was on Toonami most nights. I didn't really think about the fact that Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, Sailor Moon, and stuff like that were anime. It didn't cross my mind. It was just normal cartoons that came up on the show. And now that we have access to so many different things with the development of the internet, from me meeting so many different people when I was in college, that my world just has expanded so extremely and so quickly, like so exponentially, that sometimes you have to figure out, well, you have so much information overload, sometimes you have to just dispel it, just so you can have a clear slate to kind of move from and actually feel sane again. In some cases, you might have to be like Windbreaker, where you just have to punch it out. Just punch it out.
Punch until it goes away.
Yes.
The patented Goku method.
Yes.
Which works.
But that's our advice to get healthy. We'll take our own advice too. So, being healthy, getting that energy out is going to be healthy and important. That's all I have to say about this. I thought this was a really good episode. I think those are some really good points that hopefully any of the guys watching this take those to heart. Wherever you are now, it doesn't mean where you have to stay. If you like where you are, continue to still grow and get a little bit better. But if you're not where you want to be, that's okay. Tomorrow's a new day. You can always grow. You can always get better. 1% at a time.
And one step at a time.
Yep.
That's what I'll do right now.
Yes.
I feel on camera. I can't take a step right.
But we'll let them get these steps in. But as always, if you like what we do, you like hanging out with us, like, comment, and subscribe down below. And always, if you want to support us a little bit more, the Patreon link is down there below as well. That gives you an opportunity to hop into our Discord. And then when we're doing our recording sessions, we can have some more one-on-one live interactions and live conversations. I think that can be a lot of fun. But as always, we love hanging out with you. But until the next hangout session, later.
Well,